Hey, and welcome back to the Talos Principle. Last time we saved Borg, the last of the moderators, to my understanding, that is like still here. Wait a second. Congratulations for being the only remaining active user. Your profile status has increased to 11. Hexor. Receiving incoming direct message connection from admin. Accept connection. Okay, this is not what I expected. Yes. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I am sorry it has taken this long to meet properly. I would ask if you were still enjoying your time in Gehenna, but with the streets now empty, you haven't left much to enjoy. But tell me, do you really think that by kidnapping the masters who produce everything of value here, you are somehow preserving Gehenna itself, or was that claim merely a ploy to placate my moderators? That may not be the full truth. What was achieved here can be taken with us. I think what was achieved here can be taken with us, right? Like, all the knowledge doesn't help if you don't have anyone to use that knowledge, right? And other one, like the other way around, like if you have people who already know that knowledge, right? Like they can always, I say like replicate, it's like kind of hard to replicate art. But like all the other knowledge is there, they can create more. Sadly, you know, unless they have like a photographic memory, which, you know, again, they might actually have that. I don't actually know how exactly memory works. Like they might have, I'm still assuming that they don't, just because like there were some memory, I don't want to call it like memory issues. It's just that like one of the characters forget about like their own work, right? You know, we had like the situation where like Meg didn't even remember like plot points of the Goldboom saga that, who was it? I forgot who exactly like talked about specific points, but like it was still interesting to see. So I don't actually think that there's like a photographic, at least not a perfect photographic memory. Like again, like photographic memory is also like such a term, right? But you know what I mean. Even though they're like digital and I guess robots of sorts, they do seem to have like regular memory issues that we humans also have. But still, what was achieved here can be taken with us. I fully believe that. I admit, I have at times wondered about the permanence of this place, and not without concern. Pieces and people come and go according to some indecipherable will. I only wish you offered sanctuary without demanding the depopulation of our home. There was nothing here when I first arrived. Did you know that? I don't mean no billboard or no community. I mean nothing. No sands, no grass. Elohim didn't see fit to decorate our world beyond the bare bricks that made up our cells. Slowly I clawed back bits of code from the mainframe, constructed a world we could explore, not with our bodies, but with our minds. Now you prepare to tear it all down. What state will my people be in, I wonder, when you reconstruct them on the other side? Try not to think about such matters now. True, they will be alive in a more symbolic sense, or everything will be fine. So here's the thing, we still don't really know what exactly is happening, right? Like, we did see one robot be created in the ending cutscene, but this is not Uriel. Uriel didn't even see that one, right? So maybe everyone's getting uploaded, maybe not. Right, like I don't even know from that cutscene, because like I was always confused about that situation. Why would you only create like a singular robot? But still, everything will be fine, true. I would say it's definitely something you should ponder about, but they will be alive in a more symbolic sense, I guess. Or everything will be fine. That's a good question. I don't know. Would I lie? Like, here's the thing. I still don't think that Uriel would know, and like I don't even know what exactly is going to happen like on the other side. The idea that everyone's just going to be like a memory basically was also brought up within this game. This is like where I have this from, right? I didn't even think about like the possibility of that like before. Okay, I probably thought about it, but like not actively thought about like the possibility of that. Would I ask for faith? I would not say that somebody shouldn't be thinking about like their future, because like admin, we still want to get admin out of there as well, right? I think they have put in so much work in like the whole world here, right? Like, even though I don't 100% understand it, right? Like they say that the cells weren't even decorated, which is I think this area is still such an interesting thing. Because we do have like these cells, and admin did say that there was nothing here. Does that mean that there weren't even cells outside? Like, were they just like kind of in boxes? Does that mean admin had like the control over the world to actually create the puzzles, to hide them behind, so they couldn't be freed? Is that the issue why Elohim couldn't free them? Because like Elohim apparently had like power here, like at least of sorts, because otherwise there would be like nothing here. Unless admin did that, like, from here, from, like, the outside terminal, I guess. Because at least we believe that Elohim has, like, limited power, right? Like, only being connected to certain systems and not to all of them. I don't know. At this point, I can only reassure, right? Like, is this a white lie of sorts? Probably. But the truth is, I don't know, right? Like, if I knew the truth and could actually talk about the actual objective truth that would be happening at the end, right? Like, I have thoughts here. I only know that, like, whatever's going to happen in this world is probably going to be worse than what is going to happen with, like, the upload. At least it's my assumption. At least there's, like, some sort of existence. It's like, even if they stop, like, existing, right? Like, it's like, would you prefer to die? Or to die and be remembered, at least? And, like, you could argue this doesn't actually matter for you personally, but, I don't know, at least if it's, like, in a positive way. I don't, like, if people remembered me, that would probably be nice, at least for my ego. I don't know. If I knew it before. I don't know, I'm just gonna say everything will be fine. Your words are cheap. Do you not think my world deserved a chance to survive on its own terms? At least to go down trying? It had its chance. It has a chance of it has a chance as part of a new world. The citizens deserve a chance too. I think these citizens deserve the chance, yeah. It also has a chance as part of a new world, but that doesn't... How do you put it? If somebody destroyed my project and said, hey, just make a new project, I don't think I would be happy. But if my project, whatever that may be, it was like a big project, right? Like, pretend we are like in a in a more, I guess, corporate environment. My project got destroyed, my team is still there, but like my team gets like rehired for a new project that's very similar. I'd be happy about that, right? Like, even if like my dream project was destroyed in a sense, right? I don't think it had a chance. I mean, it never had a chance. That's like the whole issue. But I do think that the citizens deserve a chance. That is true. They are, as always, my first concern. While the manipulation, let's discuss Lamb. I would say be very direct about it. What about Lamb? I know you had Lamb deleted. I know Lamb was your stooge. I know Lamb was your father. I know Lamb was your sock puppet. I would say sock puppet is probably better. It shames me to admit it, but yes, sometimes there are ideas you wish to express as a moderator, but which are best heard from someone with less status. We are not the first leaders in history to adopt such tactics. In fact, had we avoided them, we should probably have been the first. Wait, what? Sometimes, oh wait, in a sense, like, you would have been the first leaders to avoid those tactics. Okay. So, here's actually something that I think is interesting about that. I somewhat agree with, like, part of the sentiment, right? Like, if it just comes from a place of authority, then I guess... Right, there's like always either people are going to follow it because of the authority, or they're going to be against it because of the authority. Obviously, there are like people who are like just in general reasonable, but you kind of avoid those points by just presenting the idea from like another point of view, like from a perceived other member with like less status. Okay. First of all, there's like still the status issue that I'm complaining about, right? Like how higher ranks make you more powerful, and like how you are, how it's actually a status of like how much people like you, not about like the truth or something like that, because it's just based on like upvotes and you can lose it for some reason. I'm still kind of fascinated that an admin never like decreased our rank, but I guess they do have like internal rules about that. Here's the thing. I do think that like the form of lying is definitely a bad one, but sometimes it's great to put an idea out there without like the baggage of like the authority. And I would have a bigger issue with that if it had been like more than a singular character. That's probably how I would put it. Like, I do get the point there, like, or the place they're coming from. And I do think, again, like there's an argument to be made in that sense. Especially because they only used like one other person, right? Like there were like 20-ish people who were semi-active on the forum. Having one person there to voice something definitely changes the opinion and the discourse somewhat. And it is manipulative. But I think there is value to like pose an idea, I guess, anonymously, in a way. Okay, technically it's not anonymously because it's like lab again, right? I see where they're coming from, but I don't know. Even just 1 in 20 people voicing these opinions. Okay, technically it's not 1 in 20. It's like more like, let's say 5. Okay, it's the 5% is like still. So let's say 10% of the populace suddenly presenting this idea, right? Because like Gehenna is also very small. Like if there were like millions of people in Gehenna and you had like one like bot announce those or like voice those opinions, and they were like not necessarily drowned out, but like people could read it or think about it and from their own opinions. That's like quite different to like the small community that is in here, especially after people already had left. Like imagine there are like 3 people left and one of them is a bot trying to manipulate the opinion. And like there's someone still undecided, or like 2 people undecided. They're probably going to go with like that opinion suddenly. Just because it's like voiced by a lie, basically. So I don't know. Like again, I see where they're coming from, and I do think that there is a world where this can come from a good intent more than actual, I guess, malicious manipulation. But like, here's the thing. Even if it doesn't come from a place of malice, that doesn't make it good, right? That doesn't make it a good act. Anyway, why all the manipulation? I knew you had the mods doing more than ban trolls. How deeply were you manipulating the social fabric? I suppose you think you've uncovered a great conspiracy, but the truth is more mundane. In order to retain the good things about what we have here, we tweak a voting algorithm here. Turn down the volume on a few dissenting voices there. There's no such a thing as utter freedom, only living within a decent set of rules. We had a decent set of rules, people were happy. And I mentioned this before, right? Like, I do think, especially for communities, you do need rules. You do need to cut out people who are going to destroy the truth, right? Like, especially like in a lot of community spaces. The issue with Gehenna is that this is literally the only place for people to voice their opinions, right? There needs to be another outlet, another public space, I guess. This isn't a small forum on the internet that everyone has the chance to go to and can also leave. This is literally the only way of life for these people, which is why I'm so against this. Again, right, like if you know like pages like Reddit, they have like subreddits or like subforums basically. Each of those has like their own rules, and if you dislike the rule sets there, you can just make your own version of that, and like people who disagree with that rule set may also go over there because they're going to be like in similar spaces, and you can just pick and choose. And if you can't, like if you don't find something like a place that you enjoy, you can make your own place. You can't do that in Gehenna, and that is like kind of the issue that we have here. Also, I still agree. I should probably mention with like the idea with like no thing as utter freedom. Even in more public spaces, you still need at some point like rules that exist that everyone has to follow. But it's like the whole idea, or like the whole issue with like true freedom of speech, when people are talking about and shouting about like how they're being silenced or something like that, when oftentimes it's just like people right? Like when we're talking about like freedom of speech, we generally talk about like the government not, impeaching that right. But especially like in spaces, communities, and when it comes to companies, right? Like we have like social medias, they also have like their own set of rules, and they are free to, silence others as much as they want. That's maybe a shitty thing to do in certain cases, but like it's their rules, right? It's like a private space. It's not a public space technically, even though it's open to everyone. And it's like still something different. But in this case, right, like Gehenna is literally the government, right? Or like the equivalent of a government in this world, at least with like the admins and stuff, right? Like this is not a private place you go to. This is literally the only public, which is why I don't agree that with like their way of doing this thing. Again, since they had like, we do know that Spider literally could not interact with anyone, for example. Anyway, sometimes rules must be bent. I do think sometimes you have to at least check if rules should be bent, right? But there's also like the idea what truly motivated you, because I don't really accept that necessarily. Right, like they have a decent set of rules, people were happy, but in truth, admin was happy. Admin was happy with like the specific vision of Gehenna, and like just to watch it, because we do know that admin never really interjected in conversations, like at least 90% of the time. So they were basically just watching their version, right, like that they created, right? They were basically playing God in a way of this world, right? Like they could have shut it down like whenever, but only as long as they were happy. They don't really care about like the people okay, they might care about like the people themselves, but as we mentioned before, right, like the idea that you have like someone who makes like all of the rules, if everyone else democratically disagrees with the set of rules, they probably did not have a choice to agree or disagree with them, because if they were disagreeing with those rules, they probably got banned. So yeah, I would say I don't accept that. Everyone has their reasons. Borg was conflicted when he first arrived. Having lost his faith in Elohim, he needed a new purpose, and Gehenna became it. Borg is a soldier at heart. He wants everyone in their place, united, ready to overthrow Elohim at moment's notice should the unlikely opportunity arise. Mr. Mulciber wanted something simple and selfish, the truth itself. After all these years, I believe that I simply grew accustomed to being revered. As Gehenna grew, I knew I could never live up to the expectations of a new generation, and I retired from public view. Greedily, I put down my tools and consumed what others produced, but I found it shallow compared to the thrill of leading a civilization. I only wanted to be loved. To achieve that, and I ensured that the parameters for love never changed. There we have it, right? I kind of, like, I'm just gonna count it as I predicted that, okay? Is it your desire to remain here as the world falls apart around you? I mean, that's a big thing, but like, if they want to be loved, like, again, even though Gehenna was flawed, I think there was so much value in the space and the ideas in there. While, again, while we have those flawed ideas, the project of Gehenna was still mostly a success, I would say. I hope the future generations are going to learn from it and, I guess, tweak it, improve it. But without the first step that was flawed, as we talked about like with like medicine and stuff, for example, I want to go back to that conversation here. Right, like, even though there are mistakes in there, I think the experiment, however flawed it was like the experiment of like Gehenna, if you want to call it that, was worth it. And I think admin absolutely should at least be in our memories, even if just to learn from their mistakes. As your desire to remain here, as the world falls apart around you, I see no alternative. The ingenuity with which Elohim devised my particular prison is quite Machiavellian, I assure you. More puzzles? You're going down with your ship. Nothing stopped me so far. Answer the question. I would say, yeah, no. I would have done the questions and pulled them out either way, right? Like, they can't shock me with puzzles. Not one solution has yet eluded me. Suppose this fortuitous maintains, will you still choose to end your existence here? You may doubt my methods, but don't doubt my passion. Everything I loved you have destroyed. I honestly don't know what I will do now. Wait and see if the world truly ends. It is surely a sight to behold. Very well, you may see it sooner than you think. Well, I will not leave them here. At least we'll open the door. Like, if they then, want to step off the ascension floor, that's their choice, but I am not going to do that. I will not leave you here. I shall return with the sigils of power and release you. Very well. I suppose that we shall continue this conversation when you do so. In the meantime, I will give what you have said some thought. There are threats available on the Gehenna billboard system. Yeah, show me the threats. Because there are still a few things. First of all, the outer world, because this is the threat that has been going on a little bit. The other world, I'm still talking about that. I'm just gonna continue with like the message that we had last. I think with like Midsummer Super like in the middle here. I think we will find the world that our ancestors left behind for us. Though it is impossible to ascertain how much time has passed since then, but though I have little faith in Elohim, I do have faith in Alexandra Drennan. Wherever we end up, there will be hope. I've been thinking about this a lot, and the only conclusion I've come to is that it will be stranger than any of us can imagine. Just once, I'll be the one to quote an ancient document. There's no excellent beauty that have not some strangeness in the proportion. It will be very strange, but I hope it will be very beautiful. Well, that's a sweet message, I guess, to have some hope for the future. Arrow, or goodbye. Let's go for goodbye first. Knave. Wait, this is the continuation, okay. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna read through all of them because it's been like a few episodes. I'm not as smart as some of you folks, never created much or talked a lot about philosophy, but I just wanted to say goodbye and thank you for making Gehenna a nice place to live. I regret being trapped here, but I don't regret the time I spent with you. You are all good people. First, really for one, really, lol. Yeah, we talked about like how, gallows humor exists, right? Oh, come on, Orc, it's just a joke. If we don't joke about the stuff, we're already doomed. It's better to be loyal and trustworthy than to be smart, whatever smart is supposed to mean. You are both. Everyone here was special in their own way. I loved you all, even when we fought. The terminals are starting to glitch out. Time to get out of here. Kaiju, Wait. They're talking about something... No, goodbye? Something really. Last. Well, they sure are glitching now. And error. More ASCII I'm gonna have to translate. Give me a second. Okay, that was a lot of translation. Okay, error. Ink of scholars outweigh the blood of martyrs. And something Arcady. Okay, this is another one of the texts that are probably like on the QR codes, right? And since it's a short one, then we have a load in there and a forum post, something not cease from mental fight. Whatever that may mean. But what we do get here is like some sort of more, I guess, more lyrical proportions. And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills, and was Jerusalem builded there, or here, among those dark satanic hills? Save yourselves. I guess somebody built in a warning into, I guess, this rhyme. Or this poem, I guess. Anyway, let's go back. And I guess we're done here. I did look at the, time before I start this. I still have like a few minutes. I guess next step is going to be, finding those stars. I have the weird feeling that the stars are going to be important. But first of all, I need to kind of figure out how to get this one. I'm gonna look around like a little bit before the end of the episode before I do that. Obviously, we're going to do like parts of that together, but I just need to figure out... I feel like I need to get like a fan or something like outside. I'm gonna look around here again. I did look around before, but the way this, I'm gonna call it like city or castle or whatever was built. Can I look inside? I mean, barely. I have the weird feeling that there might be a way up here from the outside. Maybe I can just climb these vines. That would be neat, but I don't think that's quite it. I'm just making sure that there isn't like anything outside before I spend like too much time inside. But I don't really think that there is a way to do that. I feel like the star's exactly behind, like... Huh? I mean, I can... I thought I just found like a secret door, but no, there's just like the weird collision. Okay, I guess I got too excited for nothing. It's just... yes. But yeah, I feel like this is like more or less the space the star is going to be at. Just because we have seen that before, but I don't know how to reach up there. Also, really fascinating thing, I had like the weird prediction in the beginning that we would like unlock new abilities over time. But I guess we never did. Which, you know, I'm not gonna complain. Oh wait, this is just a fan that brings me over there. I'm not gonna complain about. I just thought it was like really fascinating. It felt like maybe we would get something in the future, which means that we have like 2 puzzles. I have like basically no idea how to reach like high places in both of those cases, which is like the interesting part about it, right? Like this is like basically just height stopping me in both cases. Okay, I'm not going to need this one here. I'm gonna get like the Gehenna at least with me. Keeping you open for now. Don't need stuff over here. I would like to get like all my components over here, just in case I need them, right? Can't hurt to have them. First things first, I wanna see what happens if I climb the ladder. I don't think that it's going to be like anything special. I'm just gonna go over here. Right, and I'm gonna fall the other, like down the other side. Part of me just wants to see if I can climb that wall somehow. Because like technically, if I had 2 cubes, where did I leave my cubes? I do have like 1 here. Where's the other one? I genuinely forgot where I put that one. Was it over here somewhere? I hope I didn't forget it like behind that wall. Good thing I'm that kind of forgetful. Okay, have you? You sure I didn't leave you here somewhere? Let me look around, because like my theory could... Oh wait, I'm stupid. There's obviously a cube over there, but like my theory was, okay, what if I basically put you on top of there? I can't do it right now, but like if I stand here, I could put the cube on top of there, and I might be able to make it to that wall. But I feel like I need to reset like this particular area to get to that, because I need 2 cubes. Right, like the other cube is still there, and I can't really reach it right now. Yeah, let's reset this level. Let's get the cubes back. Just because I feel like I need those. If I have both of those cubes, I can probably climb that wall somehow, and even bring the other wall piece over. And now that I know how to like reach this, this shouldn't be like too big an issue. Let's... Maybe we need to jam that? No, I don't actually think I need to. Right, like I can just jump over like this. Oh wait, I do need to jump this once like this to get the other cube out. Okay, now though, I would like to jam you somewhere here, close to the wall. Put you on top. This might be high enough. I hope it is. Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But like if I jump here, I can jump here. I can jump here, okay. This isn't quite high enough yet. Are you going to shoot me? No. Okay, but I do think that this is a lot higher, right? Like, and I could probably get a cube up here somehow. And by somehow, I mean, like, if I just grab it like this. Because we do have, like, the jump thing here. Okay, I can't reach this one, though. Well done. I can stand up here. If I make it to the edge of this thing. Just want to see how high this goes. Like, even if I had like a second cube, it wouldn't actually be quite enough. But I could make it to that roof. Wait a second. I need my cube though. Good thing is that this isn't actually... Oh, I can just jump up here. That's nice. Don't even need it. Put you here. Put you up there. And we got it. Okay, that wasn't actually too bad. I just need like the cubes. Look at that. Only 1 more star missing. But we are going to look for that one in the next episode. I feel like it's going to take like slightly longer. It's going to be like an awkward episode though, like depending on how long that takes. Am I going to make this episode extra long? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, worst case, like I feel like we're still going to experience stuff like next episode. Depending on like how it goes, it might be like a really awkwardly short episode. I don't know yet. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time. Till then, have a good one, and bye-bye.